Hey there, Ascension Pioneers. My topic for today is, ta-da, the keys to the universe. I just got this book from Book Depository from Diana Cooper and Kathy Crosswell. I don't usually read so much these New Age books, but I liked the two books from Diana. One about Atlantis, Discovering Atlantis, and one about 2012. There's some interesting things that I resonated with in there. So when I found the title of this book, because if I ever wrote a book, it would be called The Principles of Creation and the Keys to the Universe. Who wouldn't want to have those? So I just went on my balcony. I sat today and I browsed through it. I scanned through it. There's also a CD on the back. Apparently there are these tones that you listen after receiving each key. And I also got this answer when I was browsing through for myself, because I don't know if you've heard it. I mentioned a few times that I keep being in the twilight zone with the number 27. It's the number I keep seeing, the highest answer possible that I got until now, because of course I know there are many meanings and multitudes of meanings for that number in my life. Guidance on so many levels, but one of the meanings was the triple trinity, three, when you have not of the number 3, the trinity of number 9s. That's what I want to say. I'm sorry, I'm just talking too much at once. So when I got to the number 27, I don't know if you can see it. No, I don't think so. The number 27, the key 27, because at the end you have the basic descriptions of these keys. You have the key, the sound, the color, and the held by or at, which either a certain civilization or a vortex, a power place, or the kingdom, like elemental kingdoms and so on. I'll read through those after. I just want to say that when I was reading all of them through at the back of the book, and I saw, the Honolulu, Rose Pink, angel singing about love, and then, the title of the key is Developed and Practice Agape or Higher Love. And I see number 27 next to it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the number I see myself all the time. And I did receive an answer once through my automatic writing that I'm a teacher of this higher love concepts, basically principles of creation, which emanate from that higher love. Source love. And I get really excited because, there's another clue pointing in that direction towards my 27. I think there's much more to reveal to all of us, much more to be revealed. But I was really guided to just come and talk to you and share, like you have in the overview of the book. You have the overview, what it's really about. And I think it's going to be an interesting book. I'm just going to start reading it this weekend. I just made an overview. And I'm just going to read through all these keys. If any of you really resonate with that. So I'm just going to start. Part 1 is the first golden cosmic key. There's the Hollow Earth. You have 2 golden cosmic keys, and the second one is the second golden cosmic key is Sirius, and then it explains, But then you have first it starts with ancient civilizations, and it goes such as key 1, the cosmic care of Atlantis. Then it's Lemuria, Mu, Petranium, and Angala. Then you have the ancient cultures and keys that belong to that. You have the Aborigines, the Incas, the Aztecs, the Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Inuit, the Native Americans, the Kahunas of Hawaii, the Tibetans, the Mayans, the Mesopotamians, the Greek culture, the Maoris. Then you have the portals. Listen to that. I don't know, maybe one of you will attune to certain things as that, because at the beginning or also at the end of the book, it says that each of the 50 keys has a different note, which you can listen to on the attached CD. As you listen to them, they will become activated in your being, assisting both you and the planet to rise in consciousness. Some of you will find certain keys more relevant than others and will focus on those. This is perfectly all right. Others will want to tune into all of them to become cosmic masters. The more people that do this, the better. So I'm reading this through. I don't know why I'm guided to read this through. Maybe some of you find certain information there. But returning to portals, you have, starting with the key of the Great Pyramid and Sphinx, Egypt. Then you have Mount Shasta, California. The Mayan Cosmic Pyramid, Guatemala. Agata, Northern Russia. The Cosmic Pyramid in Greece. The Great Cosmic Pyramid in Tibet. The Pyramid under Machu Picchu, Peru. Hollow Earth Portal, Honolulu. The Dragon Portal, the Dogon Portal, sorry, Mali, Africa. Then you have the Bermuda Triangle and the Oceaneer, Fiji. And then it goes off to the kingdoms. You have the Bird Kingdom, the Animal Kingdom, the Kingdom of the Ocean Beings, the Elemental Kingdom, the Angelic Kingdom, and the Devic Kingdom. So then we're part 2, which I mentioned already, the second golden key, which is Sirius, and then also some keys that come through that are time and speed, other dimensions, ascended masters, higher self monad, then other planets, stars, and galaxies, the nature kingdom, the elements, then sacred geometry, light, of course, sonic sound, qualities for golden earth, the cosmic heart. Then you have pure love, divine connection. Aww. The spiritual laws, alchemy and magic. And the last one is oneness. Yeah. So I wanted to read through all those keys because a lot of the times I have this feeling, also within me that I know these principles of creation. I don't know all of them right now, but I just feel them within me because certain things that come through me are so right to me, so natural. And I think throughout my purpose that is of that nature, I'll receive answers, when I'm ready, when the collective is ready. And like I've been writing about the certain alignments, and I'm not an astrologer, for instance, but a lot of the times I just know things intuitively. Like one of my friends recently has told me that she's an astrologer. She knows about many things in astrology. And she told me, yeah, you don't have to know because you're already in that level of connectedness. I see how you interconnect these levels that are also expressed through astrology that helps us to connect with our inner intuition. And the thing is, I don't know these things so much, but I really tune into these things more from a simple perspective because a lot of the things you need to learn a lot about, for instance, astrology. Some people would study it for years or like languages, but I have a feeling that my inner knowing about these things is more simple, more from the basic perspective of how everything works, like car parts, for instance, might explain how a car works through a very difficult language, and you wouldn't understand. Someone who doesn't have a clue about cars wouldn't be able to understand it. But I would love to speak these principles and truths through a manner which is very simple, so that most people who are ready to get these concepts and download them basically into their being, because some are just remembering and some basically need to download that further so they can really activate that seed potential that is already within them, because the key to all knowledge is basically our DNA. That is the storage of all the Akashic records written for us. And I have this feeling that this is needed right now on Earth, this simplicity. And I hope the book is going to be okay, like something that I'll resonate with. I think I was guided for it to the book for a reason. I'm going to share with you after. I'm a slow reader because I do so many things in between. So I also like this because it's not a long book with so much text. I'm not a reader who would read so much because a lot of the times I spend so many time on the internet and just talking to people that it takes so much of my time. But I think this is what is most valuable right now, but I won't go into that subject now. I want to say that I think what is needed right now, through really understanding the keys to the universe, and not just the universe, but the universes and the entire creation, is to go within and find how we function as to how this is mirrored in our world, and then see the internal and external polarities meeting each other, and at one point that is you, which is eternal and in your I am presence, and then try to really see what each aspect of creation is serving. And I think I have the same knowledge with me. Sometimes I've written a lot of these things. For instance, I've been sourcing about Elohim, the masters of the Elohim ray, and how they bring all creation into form, how they create this way, and how creation is supposed to be sustained, and because it's so precious and it's really valuable, and like every soul matters, every fraction of creation really matters. And about a lot of these things, I feel I will start activating this knowledge when I'm ready. And maybe one day I'll write a book about that. I don't know. There's been many friends who've told me repeatedly that I should write a book. Who knows? But also what I wanted to say is about these things that are happening right now on the planet. I think we have to go from within, from the tiniest point that we are this microcosm, to the macrocosm. So we should go really first within and then expand all the way out. For instance, you can do a meditation that starts only with you, and you can feel yourself as this dot, but a dot has to be placed somewhere. It doesn't just exist in nothingness. So when you feel yourself as this dot, keep expanding more out and out and outwardly, and you will see that the more you will expand from this dot, because you have to understand the micro in order to understand the macro. So I think all of us has to know ourselves first to know the entire universe and the keys to the universe and the principles of all creation. to understand source and how it actually brings creation to form, what different types of creation are serving for, and why we are here to really understand this journey, because so many people still focus on the external and what the 2012 is about, and what Ascension is about in those terms that really are bringing us more away from our inner core. But I would really like these aspects to be more understood from the level of why we're here, what our beingness is doing here, what is our purpose here. So that's why I think first we need to explore, like we're doing with astrology. We're discovering how the planets here in our local solar system, what kind of effect they have on us. Basically, it's a interconnectedness. It's not like they affect us. We are constantly co-creating with one another through source. So I've written this thing about certain alignments that was placed on my Facebook page. And for all those of you who do not follow it, I'll read it right now. This is a text that I wrote. I think it's important to understand first our nearest external reality. So there are some powerful alignments that are important within our spiritual progress and evolution as expressions of source, like the equinoxes, solstices, eclipses, and every full and new moon. There are also some other astrological alignments that are very valuable. Some are more harmonious, while others might seem a bit challenging. But in higher truth, every aspect of ourselves is harmonious and chaotic, dark and light, moving or standing still. The main thing that is common to all is balance. Through all these aspects, we're learning more about the self and coming into greater wholeness and completion, which brings us into unity consciousness. And I feel here, when you have the table of content of all these, for instance, you have the Gobi Desert, Asia. The purpose of it is balance the masculine and feminine energy to bring about harmonious coexistence. You see, everything I think it's about balance, and all these principles teach about balance, but each on its own level. It's all about balance. So I'm not an astrologer, but I know that every full moon brings forth more releasing of what no longer serves us and strengthens our focus in this, while every new moon brings forth anchoring new things into tangible form, so that new birth can occur. Naturally, the new can only be birthed on fertile ground, and that is why we always need to purge before we start planting. So the same way it is with us, the below, the same way it is above, in the heavens or other dimensions, other realms, and of course how source creates through all that is. For example, the time between the two eclipses, if you look at the eclipses, because they're very important for evolution as well, is the most powerful one for revealing to us the hidden and the unknown, for us embracing the shadow and see what still lies there, waiting for us to permeate it with light. Our wounded little self is waiting for us to see the core patterns and heal them so we can embrace our wholeness and totality. During this time, the mental patterns, beliefs, reactions, and templates of the old are being released. So, what do we need releasing that is of the old? We each know that on our own level. What keeps revealing itself to you so you can embrace and transcend it? How can you even further step into the new? So then I read about old templates of doing that are coming up to service and about expansion. And I won't read about this now, and I just was saying that the integration of masculine and feminine, which as I already mentioned before, is meant for us to see both integral parts of the whole and expand through merging the two within one in great balance. So also, for instance, equinoxes and solstices, and we just have a fall and spring equinox tomorrow, act as a vortex for the new light to be anchored on the planet from the higher dimensions, the light that is brought forth from the grand central sun through many different constellations and aspects in order to make new creations possible. That is how it's being birthed. There is so much happening behind the scenes, which we cannot see always, beyond what is apparent to our physical eyes, and every form of creation serves as a unique purpose. We are all being guided and directed by a higher force, such that we can hardly imagine with our limited brain potential. The more that we activate our DNA and attune ourselves to our God-Goddess potential, our source self, the more we become aware and understanding of the nature of this great cosmic flow. Isn't this cosmic soup just something so amazing? Yeah, and imagine we are all a part of it and all one. So it is not enough just to feel, and not just enough to know this, we need to feel it. And this is what knowing is all about. It's about feeling. So I believe that we need to start feeling these concepts more and extending them from the tiniest point of our microcosm to the most expanded point. So I think our ancestors, because the energy was more attuned to the source connection before, they knew more. And now in between the cycles, humanity has went more into the kind of like a retrograde period. and started forgetting, and so much was kept beneath the surface, and now we're starting to remember again. So astrology, I think, is one of the tools that brings us closer to the aspects of what is going on in our solar systems. But we have to understand, for instance, the sun, the transformation of the sun, and I made a video about this, about the solar flares and CMEs and everything, how it's basically ascending, and this sun in this solar system is just an extension of the greater sun behind it, in the grand central sun. And all the creation is being unfolding there. It unfolds there, and everything is already imagined, and there is no time and space, and there are certain keys, and I think I'm gonna like this book, that we are just becoming aware and just scratching the surface, because information is coming to us tiny bits by bits, step by step, as much as we're open and ready to it. So I think the human species is actually attuning more to the grander picture, but for that to happen, we need to go within first and realize our own variation of creation, what humans are here for, and then expand it further to see and embrace all the life, and embrace every ray of creation that brought forth something so amazing that is all around us and within us at the same time, because our external environment will show us everything, and the more that we become vigilant, observant, we will see all this unfolding right before our eyes. And I think we're just starting here. I think basically people are just waking up, and we're just starting to, scratching the surface together. And there's information coming from different people. If you read a certain book like this, take with you what resonates, and the rest you can leave behind, because in your DNA you store the same unlimited potential. And of course, there are different variations of creations and beings who maybe might know more on something else, and others might know more about something different. Like, for instance, you have written here about Sirius, what the beings that bring forth certain qualities, why they needed to incarnate through Sirius. I'll read this to you. Sirius is one of the 4 ascension stars, planets, and constellations connected with Earth. It holds information about spiritual technology, sacred geometry, science, and higher mental understandings. Those souls who wish to bring these particular aspects forward on Earth will train in Sirius before incarnation. These universal aspects can be accessed through the golden cosmic key of Sirius, and they each hold the key to the energies of the universe. So maybe there are some freaky scientists who get all these information and they got their training there. I don't know. I think we all hold a certain key for what is unfolding right now here on Earth. And that's all I wanted to say for today. Just went on a spontaneous talk with all of you. So enjoy your weekend, enjoy your equinox, and much love to all of you. Bye.